Let us start in a seated position. So Sukhasana or any seat that feels good to you. And just kind of have your theraband nearby, just near your seat, just a little bit, so that you'll be able to access it in a minute. So get super comfy, wiggle around in your sits bones, wiggle your shoulders around, just make sure everything feels like it's got a second to settle in. And then if it feels good, close your eyes down. And just take a second or two to come to your mat. Let your breath slow down. Let your body settle in. And once you feel like you've found a comfortable seated position and everything feels like it's in a good position, take a moment to notice the posture of your head and the posture of your chest. So if it feels like your head and your heart are leaning slightly forward, see if you can draw back just a little bit. So your head, your heart, your hips are all lined up. And then see if you can draw your shoulders down and back. Finding just a little slight, tiny, gentle opening through the heart space and through your collarbones. And then right away, before we do anything or engage the body, take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. And with that intention set, we'll just start by focusing on the breath. Eyes opened or closed, that'll be totally up to you, but take an inhale through your nose. Nice, big, deep inhale. And a nice, slow exhale. Excuse me, I just had to sneeze. Please forgive me. Take another nice, deep inhale through your nose. And exhale nice and slow. Nice slow inhalation in through the nose. And exhale, slow but natural exhale. So just let all that air go naturally. No need to force it or draw the abdominal muscles in. Just let them do what they naturally do. 2 more cycles of breath here, just noticing your breath. Nice. And then from here, just take a second to readjust your seat as needed. So you find that good posture again, head, heart, and hips in line, shoulders soften down. And then we're going to move just our eyeballs. So you're going to find your head in a nice neutral stationary position. Eyes can be closed to start. And you're just going to lift your eyeballs upward, like you're looking up towards the ceiling, but you can keep your eyelids down. And then look to the left, look down, and look to the right. And then just start to smooth that out. So eyes are closed to start, and you're just circling the eyes around. Just seeing if you can find that nice maneuver, circling your eyes, looking up to the side, down and to the side. And then see if you can reverse directions. Look to the right, look down, look to the left, and up, but eyes are closed. So it's just finding that movement of your eyeballs underneath your eyelids. And then see if you can smooth that out. taking 1 or 2 more times around. And then when you're ready, eyes are going to come back to center, but your eyelids are closed. Inhale and lift your chin up towards the sky. Exhale, tuck your chin down towards your chest. Keep your shoulders down and back. Inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Exhale, tuck your chin down. One more just like that. Inhale to lift your chin up. Exhale to tuck your chin down. And then bring your head to a neutral space. And now with your eyes open, we're going to do that same eye rotation. So eyes are going to look up towards the sky just as far as they can, but head is going to stay nice and stationary. Look to the left, look down, and look to the right. And then see if you can smooth that out. So you're just circling your eyeballs, looking around, and now eyes are open. And then just see how smooth you can make that maneuver. And if it works better to take your glasses off so you can just focus on the movement of your eyes rather than the focus of your gaze, take your glasses off for a second just to see if you can find all of that. And take 1 or 2 more times around in this direction. And then come back to center, close your eyes for a moment, take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then open your eyes again. And we're going to go in the other direction. So eyes are going to look up, over to the right, down just as far as they can look, and then over to the left. And then see if you can start to smooth that out. So eyes are going in circles. Glasses on or off, totally up to you. Trying to keep your head as stationary as you can. Beautiful. Take 1 or 2 more circles around. And then come back to center, close your eyes down, clap your hands together, fire up your palms, get them nice and good and hot. Once you feel like you've created a good bit of heat and friction in your palms, you're going to place your palms gently on your eyes and then lean in just a little bit. Let your head and your eyes rest in your palms. Take a nice big breath in. A nice slow breath out. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, gently lift your head away. Gently open your eyes. If you took your glasses off, go ahead and put them back on, and then find that nice seated position again. And we're just going to take a few turns of the head side to side, just moving at a range of motion that feels good to you. Awesome. One more turn of the head side to side. And then bring your head back to center. Let your hands come down at your sides, and we're going to move into the wrist. So as you inhale, you're going to twirl your wrists in one direction, reaching them up and overhead just as far as you like. And then as you exhale, you're going to twirl the wrist and come back down. Inhale, twirl the wrist up and overhead. And as you exhale, reverse your direction of your twist of your wrist and take it back down to the ground. Nice. One more just like that. Inhale, arms raise up, wrist twirl. Exhale, twirl the other way and float the arms down. Beautiful. And then give your wrists a little shake. Just kind of really get some blood flowing down to the fingers and down to the wrists. Nice. And then grab your theraband and we're going to take a little palm facing up situation. So we're going to get really tight and close together. Backs or the heels of the hands are going to come together, and we're going to pull it apart, hug your elbows into your ribs. And now we're just going to work into the wrist. So you're going to pull the left thumb in and out, keeping the right hand nice and stationary. See if you can just move into the wrist. And if you need to, look down so you just see that the most of the motion, it's not coming out of the elbow and the shoulder, but just pulling the thumb in and out. Beautiful. One more in and out on this side, and then switch. So keep that nice pulled apart sensation, move over to the right hand, and the thumb is just moving in and out. So most of the movement's coming out of your wrists. Nice. One more in and out there. And then relax just a little bit to loosen your grip so you can slide the hands apart. And now they're going to come about to that shoulder width distance apart. And you're going to reach the hands forward like you're presenting a plate, and then pull the elbows back in, but keep that equal distance between your band. Reach your hands forward. Keep that equal distance, pull the elbows back towards the ribs. Beautiful. One more just like that. Reach your hands forward and then pull the elbows back in. Nice. And then release your grab from your theraband, set it off to the side. We will come back to that. Wiggle out your shoulders just a little bit. Now we're going to take, and I'm just going to turn around just so you can see what I've got going on. So you're going to take your left hand and you're going to slide it behind you with the palm facing out. And then you're just going to start to glide the arm in and out. So think of it as like a little bit of a hinge maneuver from your shoulder. And we're just gliding the hand in and out, staying more in the mid back, low back area. Take a couple more glides in and out just to tune in. Notice the movement in and out of your shoulder. Nice. One more in and out. And then you're going to take that hand and slide it up, bending the elbow just a little bit more, and just see where your fingers reach in between your shoulder blades. And there's no right or wrong in distance. Just take a moment to notice. Awesome. And then when you're ready, let that hand go and take it to the other side. So palm faces backwards, and we do that gliding in and out motion. So we're staying in that low back, mid back area. And then just kind of noticing the movement of your shoulder, maybe even noticing if the rest of the body wants to come with and help that maneuver. How stable can you keep your body as you move the hand and the elbow in and out? Nice. One more in and out. And then slide that hand up, bend the elbow a little bit more, and find the space between your shoulder blades, and just notice how far you can reach. Cool. And then gently release. And now take it back to that left shoulder, and you're just going to pull the shoulder up to the ear. Everything else is going to stay as stable as it can, and then lower it back down. Lift the shoulder up towards the ear and lower it back down. One more just like that. Just the shoulder lifts up and then lower it back down. Now we're going to press the shoulder down. So think about pressing the shoulder down into the earth, finding a little length, but everything else stays nice and stable. Pull it back up to neutral. Press the shoulder down, pull it up to neutral, press the shoulder down, pull it up to neutral. And now you're going to pull the shoulder forward. So most of the work is coming out of that armpit chest area. Feel that little engagement of that pectoral muscle. And then shoulder comes back to neutral. Shoulder reaches forward and back to neutral. Shoulder reaches forward and back to neutral. And now we're going to take it back like you're trying to make a little chicken wing with your shoulder blades. So pull the shoulder back and then bring it in. Pull the shoulder back and bring it in. One more just like that. Pull the shoulder back and bring it in. Nice. And now we're going to put all that together. Lift the shoulder up, bring the shoulder forward, press the shoulder down, pull the shoulder back. Lift the shoulder up, shoulder forward, shoulder down, shoulder back. One more time around. Lift up, forward, down, and back. And then find a neutral. Take a moment, take a breath. And then we're going to take that all to the other side. So shoulder's going to lift up to the ear and then lower back to a neutral position. Lift up towards the ear and back to neutral. Lift up and back down. And now we're pressing downward. So press the shoulder down towards the earth and bring it back to neutral. Press the shoulder down, back to neutral. Press the shoulder down and back to neutral. And now take it forward. Shoulder rounds forward. Feel that little squeeze in the armpit chest muscle. Bring it back to neutral. Press forward, back to neutral. Press forward and back to neutral. Nice. Now take it back like you're making that chicken wing. Squeeze back and bring it back to neutral. Squeeze back to neutral. Squeeze back and back to neutral. Nice. And now we're going to take it all the way around. Lift up, forward, down, squeeze back, lift up, forward, down, squeeze back, lift up, forward, down, squeeze back, bring it to neutral. Take a couple of rolls of the shoulders around, down and back, just kind of smooth all of that out, shake out anything that you might have come across. And now take your left hand, flip it, palm facing out, slide your hand all the way up in between your shoulder blades, and just notice if you have a little bit more ease there or a little bit more range of motion. Take one moment to notice. And then gently release and take it to the other side. Palm flips out, Reaching back up in between the shoulder blades and just notice if you've got more range of motion on this side as well. Cool. And then when you're ready, gently release. Wiggle out those shoulders again, rearrange your seat so everything feels comfortable. We're going to take it into a little Sufi's grind. So we're just going to start to circle the torso. Start by finding that nice little hinge from the hips, circling around, noticing how that feels on your back, your hips, and your knees. And then if that feels good and you want that little bit more, you're going to take the rib cage around with you. So as you circle around, ribs are going to rotate a little bit more exaggerated movement. So you're kind of mushing the center around a little bit, finding a little activation of your abdominal muscles and a little bit of a stimulation for the digestive tract. Beautiful. Take one more circle around in this direction, and then we're going to go the other way. So start with a nice upright, tall position, just that hinge from the hips. And then if that felt good and you like that movement of the ribs, go ahead and take that in with you. So start to move the ribs around as you circle. Nice. Take one more circle around. And then bring it back to center, lean back into your sit bones, swing your legs out in front of you into a little seated ragdoll, super generous bend to the knees. Take a nice big breath, lift the belly up and over, exhale, reach towards your feet. And then just let everything hang out here for a second. Let your belly rest on your thighs, let your head drop down. Notice that little bit of compression of your belly against your thighs and see if you can tune into your breath in the back side of your body. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly start to walk yourself up, keeping the legs extended out, but we're going to walk them in just a little bit closer. So feet maybe a little bit wider, heels a little closer to your bum. And then bring your hands behind you and then swish those knees side to side. Beautiful. Take one more little swish side to side, but take a second here just to notice how your wrists feel. And then when you're ready, bring those knees back to center, maybe walk them in just a little bit closer, fingers pointing towards your butt. You're going to press into the palms and press into the feet and just lift your butt up like maybe 2 inches away from the floor and then set your butt back down. Beautiful. Pick your butt up maybe 2 inches away from the floor. Nice. And then set it back down. One more just like that. Pick your butt up about 2 inches away from the floor and set your butt back down. Nice. And then swing it around into a tabletop position or come onto all fours. So as you find your way into your tabletop position, right away, curl both sets of toes under and just start to find that rock forward and back, pulling your butt back towards your heels, and then bringing your shoulders back in line with your wrists. The next time you pull your butt back to your heels, stay here for an extra breath or two. Nice. And then when you're ready, bring it up into tabletop position, release your toes, move right into cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round your back. One more breath just like that. Lovely. And then find a neutral spine. And we're going to find that vacuum suck of the belly. So tune in for a second. Make sure your wrists and your shoulders feel like they're in a good position. Knees feel like they're in a good position. Take a nice deep inhale with a nice neutral spine. And as you exhale, just start to pull your belly button toward your spine. Get that little sense of sucking the abdominal muscles in and then release. So this is like a looser position. Inhale a nice big breath. And then exhale, just think about pulling the belly button up. So not that big vacuum suck yet, but just finding that nice lift of the abdominal muscles and then release. One more big inhale. Nice soft exhale. Cool. And now we're going to go a little bit further with that. Inhale, fill your belly up. Exhale, and then at the end of the exhale, you'll suck the abdominal muscles in, really pull them up, do that vacuum suck. Just see if you can find that hold for a moment. And then with control, release your abdominal muscles and then inhale. Exhale, let all that air go. At the end of your exhale, suck your abdominal muscles in. Hold it just as long as you can. And then when you're ready, release the abdominal muscles and then take your inhale. And do that one more time. Exhale. At the end of your exhale, suck your abdominal muscles in. Hold it just as long as you can. Release the abdominal muscles first and then come back to your breath. Beautiful. And then take some C-spines here. So hug the right shoulder towards right hip and then left shoulder towards left hip and just move gently side to side just to bring a little movement into the spine. Nice. Take one more time each side. And then bring it back to center. We're going to take it right into puppy pose. So hips are going to stay in line with the knees. Walk your hands towards the top edge of your mat. Let your chest and forehead melt down. Take 3 nice deep breaths. On your next inhale, when you're ready, start to bring yourself back up into a tabletop position. Move your theraband back with you, and we're just going to sit back on the heel. So sit in thunderbolt pose or hero's pose. So there's this little big toe together, heels come out, and you kind of cradle your bum right in the soles of your feet. So if you can find that position, take a second to find your way there, but then just make sure that it's a safe, good position for your knees. If this is no good, Sukhasana will do the trick. But if you can find this position, we're going to take our theraband behind the back, find a nice close grip. So hands are going to come pretty close together, and then you're going to pull apart on the theraband so that you keep your hands about a shoulder width distance apart. And we're just going to start to pump the arms here. So pumping them up and down, starting to draw a little bit of space in the front of the heart and squeezing together in those shoulder blades, and just take a few good pumps to the arms. And then once you feel like you've got that maneuver down, see if you can speed it up just a little bit, but keep a firmness in your center. So it's not a big wobbly movement. It's just pumping out of the shoulders. Beautiful. Take 1 or 2 more pumps to the arms, and then we're going to fold over from here. Take those arms with you. Just let them fall as far away from the back side of the body as they go. And then lift yourself right back up. Hands are going to come towards the soles of the feet. Release your grip from your theraband. Set it off to the side. Float your way back into a tabletop position, and then notice your arms, notice your shoulders, notice the armpit chest area. When you're ready, curl your toes under, take it right into a hovering table. So you're going to pull the knees up away from the floor, engage your abdominal muscles, feel a little strength in your shoulders, a little stableness in your breath. One more breath. Awesome. Float your knees down, big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Take it back to extended child's pose. Pull your butt all the way back to your heels and let everything sink down here. Belly, chest, forehead, everything just gets nice and soft and heavy into the earth. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift your way back up into tabletop position, walking your knees in so they're back in line with the hips. Slide the right leg back, toes curled under, take a few rocks forward and back. Bring a little movement into the foot, the ankle, the calf, and the heel. Beautiful. Now, the next time your shoulders come in line with your wrists, stay there. We're just going to lift that leg up and then lower the toe back down to the ground. Lift the leg up, lower the toe back down. See if you can find a nice broadness and stability in your shoulders, finding most of the work coming out of your glutes. Awesome. One more lift and lower of that leg. And then when you're ready, slide it in, and we'll take all of that to the other side. Left leg's gonna slide back, toes curled under, rock yourself forward and back. Nice, and then the next time your shoulders come in line with your wrists, stay there. Leg is long, lift the heel up, and then lower the toe back down to the ground. Shoulders are nice and broad. Belly is a little bit firm to help support the low back. So most of the movement and the lift and the action comes out of that left side glute. Beautiful. One more lift and lower here. And then slide that leg in. So both legs in tabletop position. Pick up your right hand, turn your hand like you're turning a doorknob, fingertips toward your knees, and then press into the palm. Take one nice big breath. Beautiful. Peel back, let the palm lift, let the fingers lift, come all the way on up, give your wrist a little shake, turn the fingers around, set it back into that tabletop position, and then over to the other side. Pick up your left hand, turn your fingers towards your knee, press into your palm, take a breath. Awesome. Then peel back, let the palm lift, let the fingers lift, stretch through the fingers. Then once it comes all the way up, give it a little shake, and then turn it back around, find your tabletop again. Nice. Curl your toes under back to that hovering table, pick up your knees, hold there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then when you're ready, lift up into a downward facing dog position and start to pedal out the legs. Find some nice, big, generous movement with this. Move your hips, move into your shoulders, let your elbows bend a little, let your wrists move, maybe even move your head around a little bit. Awesome. And then when you're ready, nice and easy, start to walk your hands up towards your feet. Come into a nice folded ragdoll position at the top of the mat. Feet about hip or shoulder width distance apart. Make some space for your belly, make some space for your chest, and then just let everything dangle here. You can grab your elbows if that feels good, or just let your hands hang heavy. Let your head be nice and heavy and soften the back of your neck. In this folded over position, if it feels good, take a few nods of the head up and down. And then take a few turns of the head side to side. Great, and then bring your head to neutral, relax your fingers towards the floor, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll on up to a standing position, take a couple of good shrugs of your shoulders, just to kind of find your way up, let your blood pressure return to normal, and then find your way into your mountain pose. Feet about hip width distance apart, toes and knees pointing fairly forward. We're gonna lift the toes and spread your toes just as wide as you can. Really get those toes reaching out and away from each other if you can find that sensation. Insteps are lifted up, lift energy all the way up through the front of your body, ground your shoulders down, and then once you feel like you've got that nice upright lifted position, soften your toes back down to the earth. And then just take a moment in mountain pose, eyes closed or open, totally up to you, but find this nice strong stance and then just notice your breath here. Take a nice big inhale, nice slow exhale. Big inhale, let your belly inflate a little bit. Exhale and just tune in. Notice that little pulling in and up sensation of the abdominal muscles as the air naturally goes out. Take one more breath. Awesome. On your next inhale, arms reach up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge at your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. And now we're going to walk our hands to the tops of the knees or the where the thighs meet the knees, and then bend your knees. So we're in a little bit of a chair position, but you might find your weight is like a little bit more centrally located on your feet. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, and then at the end of the exhale, see if you can pull those abdominal muscles in. Find that vacuum suck again. Hold it just as long as you can, and then release the abdominal muscles. Take your inhale. Beautiful. Exhale, let all that air go. At the end of the exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in just as far as you can. Hold it just as long as you can. When you're ready, release the abdominal muscles and then take your inhale. Nice. One more just like that. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in just as far as you can. And then when you're ready, release. Take your inhale. Rise all the way up. Hands are going to meet up above the head. Look to the sky. Beautiful. Right hand's going to touch down. Find a neutral spine here. And then take a side bend. Lean over to the right. Nice. Take one more breath. Lift up. Left hand's going to touch down. Right hand's going to reach up. Lean over to the left. Beautiful. Lift it up, and both hands are going to swim behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Draw the knuckles towards the heels. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Collarbones open just a little bit. A little gentle opening in the chest. Look to the sky. Lift your chin up. Take one more breath. Awesome. And then release back to your mountain pose. Hands down at your sides, belly nice and firm. Lift up through the top of your head. See if you can find that pada bandha. Big toe pulls towards the heel. So we lift from the soles of the feet and pull all of that energy right up through the top of your head. When you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold down. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften all the way down. We're going to bend the knees, pull the abdominal muscles in, strong from your navel center, roll on up to standing, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, pull your way up through the belly button, pull the ribs back, shoulders drop down. Nice. One more just like that. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees, pull the abdominal muscles in, ribs pull up and back. Shoulders lift all the way up to the ears, and then roll them around, down and back. Lovely. Shift your weight over to your left foot. Pick your right heel up. Big toe is going to stay on the ground. Find your balance first. And then once you found it, keeping that big toe on the ground, circle your ankle around in one direction. And then circle your ankle the other way. Nice. And then set that foot down. Shift your weight over to your right foot. Left big toe stays on the ground. Lift your heel. Find your balance first. And then once you feel like you've got it, circle your ankle around in one direction. Beautiful. And then circle your ankle the other way. Nice. And then set your left foot down. Shift your weight back over to that left foot. Inhale and just pick your right knee up. Find a little balance here. Maybe flex the foot. Firm up your abdomen. Lift up through the crown of your head. Take one more breath. Awesome. Set that foot down. Shift your weight over to your right foot. Peel your left knee up. Firm up your center. Lift through the top of your head. Flex the foot. Nice. And then float that foot back down. Find your mountain pose again. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold down. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step both feet back to downward facing dog. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into tabletop position and right into a lunge. So stepping the right foot forward into that low lunge position. You can scooch that left leg back just as far as you like, maybe finding a little sensation through the front of your left hip. And then once you've got a spacing that you feel like feels good, lift yourself up, reach your arms up, look to the sky. Nice. And then from here, we're going to float the hands back behind, interlace the fingers, draw the knuckles towards the heels, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your chest, lift your gaze, take one nice big breath. And then release. Hands are going to float down to the ground. We're going to take 3 rocks forward and back. So think half splits to low lunge, just going as far as feels safe and comfortable to that back knee, and only going as far as feels good. So it feels like a gentle tug in the back of the leg, but we're not yanking against the hamstrings. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, step that foot back into that tabletop position, curl the toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. Nice. And then when you're ready, pick up your heels, lower your knees through tabletop, left foot's going to step forward, finding that low lunge to the other side. Once you feel like you've got your legs arranged in a good position, inhale, raise your arms up and look up. Beautiful. From here, hands swim behind the back, interlace the fingers, draw the knuckles towards the heels, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest, lift your gaze. Nice. And then release all that, float the hands down and take a few rocks forward and back, going from that low lunge to half splits. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, come through that low lunge, step that front foot back into a tabletop position, curl the toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. Lovely. And then we're going to move forward into a plank position. So you're going to bring your shoulders in line with the wrist, readjust your feet as needed, firm up your shoulders, make a nice broad space like you're pushing the floor away. Belly pulls up nice and firm, press through your heels, nice long neck. Take one more breath. Awesome. And then release your knees down to the ground, lower onto your belly with control. Once you found your way down, take a second just to give everything a good little wiggle out. Make sure it all feels like it's in a good place. 3 low cobras here, hands alongside the shoulders. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. One more just like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower down. Push your way all the way back to child's pose. Big toes together, knees together, butt back to the heels. Slide your hands back and just let your hands touch the soles of your feet. Let your upper body round over your thighs. Let your head drop down. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Now in this child's pose position, we're going to take it into our hare posture. So for me, I like to use my theraband or my strap because my shoulders just don't give me enough give, and I like that little extra bit of space. So if you like to, grab your theraband, or you can just clasp your hands behind your back, interlacing the fingers. So whichever feels like a better way to go. Once you feel like you've got a good position that your arms are going to be able to move in, take a second, settle back into that little child's pose, soften your belly. And then if you have any head or neck or shoulder stuff going on, I'm going to suggest that you only take it right to the forehead and you don't roll all the way up onto the crown of your head. But if your head and neck are feeling good and healthy and happy today, we're going to start by just placing the forehead onto the ground. Your butt will lift up away from your heels. And then if it feels really good, you're going to roll up onto the crown of your head and then start to let the arms fall away from the backside of your body. You want to keep your gaze forward as much as you can, not turning the head in any particular position. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, hands will slowly start to release towards your low back. butt will start to float back to the heels. Gently lift your forehead away from the ground. And then if you were using your theraband, just set it off to the side and we'll start to find our way back up into a tabletop position. Lift yourself up with control, curl your toes under, find your downward facing dog, take a pedal or two of the legs. Nice. And then just see where you left your theraband if you're using it and see if you can just kind of chuck it up to the top of your mat so you have access to it. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of your mat into a forward fold position. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften all the way down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. And now grab your theraband and you're going to take it and drop it behind the back. So left palm is going to face backwards, and then you're going to start to find the other end of the theraband and then see if you can kind of crawl your hands together just as close as they like to go. And then once you've got a good firm position, bottom hand is going to stay stable, top hand is going to reach up and then bend back down. Reach up and back down, reach up and back down. And now top hand is going to stay stable. Bottom hand is going to pull down and back up, down and back up, down and back up. And now you're going to keep an even grip, and like you're flossing or like you're doing that little towel maneuver to dry your back, you're going to lift up and down a few times. Nice. And then bring it back to neutral. See if you can crawl your hands to just a little bit closer on the theraband. And then once you feel like you've got a nice, good grip and it feels good, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold over, straighten your legs just as much as you like, and let that top elbow get nice and heavy towards the ground. When you're ready, bend your knees, lift from the top of your head, let your heart follow, come up nice and slow, release your grip from the theraband, let your arms go, give your shoulders a little shrug, shake, get everything out. And now we're going to take it to the other side. So take the theraband into your top hand, bottom hand, palm faces out, and you're just going to crawl those hands together just as close as you like. And then once you've got a good firm hold, bottom hand is going to stay stable, top hand is going to reach up and lower down, reach up and lower down, reach up and lower down. Now top hand is going to stay stable, bottom hand's going to reach down and up, down and up, down and up. Now keep that nice even distance between the hands and find that little up and down flossing maneuver. You guys, my favorite chicken is in the room. She's just come in to greet us, so hopefully she'll come on camera so she can say hi to you. All right, when you're ready, crawl your hands together just as close as feels good. And then once you feel like you've got it, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold over, straighten your legs just as much as you like. Let your top elbow get nice and heavy. When you're ready, bend your knees, lift from the top of your head, let your heart follow, come up nice and slow. Release your grab from your theraband. Woo, shake out your shoulders, set that off to the side, give your wrists a little shake and your fingers a little wiggle just to loosen up anything you may have come across in your grip, and then find your way back to the top of your mat into your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Keep your knees nice and bent, light fingers to the floor. Take your right foot, step it back into a lunging position. Rearrange your back foot so the heel comes down to the ground, and then lift your way up, straighten your front leg. Pull that left hip back, right hip forward. Bring your hands behind your back, and if you can find a prayer position with the hands, awesome. If not, just maybe grab wrists, maybe you grab your elbows, or maybe just grab hold of your shirt. Keep pulling that left hip back, right hip forward. Hinge from your waist, lean your chest forward, come to that halfway point. So you're just going to lean over halfway, reaching long through the crown of your head, noticing the back of your left leg, feet nice and firm and steady on the ground. Take one more breath. Beautiful. Lift up through the crown of your head. Let your heart follow. Come up nice and slow. Release your prayer hands. Bend your front knee. Pivot that back foot as you come down to the ground. We're going to step that front foot back to downward facing dog. Take a nice big breath. Nice. And then bring it forward into a plank position. Rearrange your feet as needed. Firm up your belly. Broaden your shoulders. Beautiful. Bring your knees down. Lower with control onto your belly. One cobra here, just as high as you like. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. Push your way all the way up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Bend your knees. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Strong from your navel center. Roll all the way on up. Roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Beautiful. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Soft knees, tall fingers. Step your left foot back. Back heel is going to drop down and the toes turn out. Nice. And then straighten the front leg. Lift your way up. Pull that right hip back, left hip forward. Readjust your feet as needed. And then when you feel like you've got a good foundation with the feet, hands behind the back. Prayer hands or grab the wrists of the elbows. Lovely. And then hinge from your waist. Lean yourself forward. Come to that half fold position. Lengthen out through the crown of your head. Nice, steady feet. Nice, steady breath. One more breath. Beautiful. Lift up through the crown of your head. Release your prayer hands. Bend that front knee. Float your hands down to the ground. Pivot that foot back. And then find your way back to a plank position. Beautiful. Lower the knees. Lower onto your belly with control. Take a second. Shake out your bum. Wiggle out your shoulders. Hands alongside the shoulders. Elbows nice and close at the ribs. Inhale. Nice high cobra. Lift as high as you like. Exhale to lower down. Find your way back up to that downward facing dog position. Beautiful. Look forward. Walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of the mat. We're going to roll ourselves right down to the ground. So bend your knees, sit your butt down onto the ground, find your way right into a cobbler's pose. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. So butterfly or cobbler or Baddha Konasana, whatever you like to call it. But take your thumbs to your insteps, peel your insteps open like you're opening up a book. So the blade edges of your feet stay together. And then once you found that position, get just a little bit taller. Lean your heart forward just as far as you like. So find your edge. Just come as far as feels comfortable. No electric or shooting pain in the knees or the hips or the back. Take one more breath. Beautiful. Come up nice and slow. Lift from the top of your head. Let your heart follow. Release your hold from your feet. Pull the knees together. We're going to roll down to the ground and then just see if you can keep your theraband handy so you have a way to access it once you come on down. Nice. And then take your theraband. Knees are going to be bent so that you just find your spine in a nice, neutral, comfortable position. You're going to pick up your right knee, circle that loop around your foot so that you can get a nice little hold, and then see if you can just kind of spread your theraband a bit so that it has a good coverage at the bottom of the foot. And then once you feel like you've got it, you're going to point and flex the foot. So heel up towards the ceiling, and you're just going to keep a firm hold of your theraband so that you create a little bit of resistance, and then you work through the foot, pointing up towards the ceiling and then pulling the toes in. Take one or two more points and flex of the foot. And then with a fairly flexed foot, maybe a little Barbie foot. So think slightly neutral, but there's a little bit of life in the foot. You're going to choke up on the theraband just a little bit, hug your elbows down, push your heel towards the ground, fire up the muscles in the back of the leg, soften and pull it all in. Push your heel towards the ground, soften and pull it in. One more just like that. Push your heel towards the ground, soften and pull it in. And then take both ends of your theraband in your right hand. So same hand, same foot. You're going to take that leg out to the side and then slightly in past your midline. Take it out to the side, and then in slightly past the midline or across the midline of the body. Nice. One more time. Out to the side. Bring it slightly in. And this time we're going to take it out to the side just as wide as you like. And then maybe you'll slide the left leg nice and long if that feels like a good way to go. Take one more breath. If you extended that left leg, go ahead and slide it back in. Give a little tug on that theraband, pull the leg back to center, bend your knee, gently release your foot from your theraband, and we're going to take it to the other side. So we're going to catch hold of that left foot. Bend your left knee, pull it on up. See if you can just widen that theraband across the bottom of the foot so you have a lot of coverage there. And then lifting the foot up towards the sky, pointing and flexing the foot. So we're choking up on the theraband a little bit to create just a little bit of resistance, letting that work come through the foot and the ankle. Nice. One or two more points and flex of the feet. And then choke up just a little bit more. Get a nice firm hold, pull the elbows down, and then push your heel down towards the ground. Soften and draw the leg back in. Push your heel towards the ground. Soften and pull it back in. Push your heel towards the ground. Soften and pull it back in. Nice. And then foot comes to a more neutral position. You're going to re-grab both ends of the strap with your left hand and then take the leg out to the left, just as wide as you like. Pull it back in slightly across your midline. Take it out nice and wide. And pull it back in. Take it out nice and wide. Pull it in slightly across the midline. And this time you're going to take it out nice and wide, just as wide as you like. Take it as far as feels good. And then if it felt good to extend the left leg long, this time take the right leg long. Take one more breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, bring it all back in, sliding the right leg in if it's extended long, pulling the leg back to center, bend your knee, release your foot from your theraband, both feet on the ground, knees bent, feet about hip width distance apart. Hands alongside the hips, one bridge pose here. Inhale and lift your hips up nice and high. Stay in that nice lifted position. Take a big inhale. Exhale, and at the end of the exhale, see if you can suck your abdominal muscles in, find that vacuum suck, hold that sucked in belly just as long as you can, lower your way back down to the ground. And then once your hips touch down, inhale and let your belly inflate. Nice. When you feel good, pull both knees up into your chest, give yourself a light little squeeze, a gentle rock side to side. Lovely. Release your hold from your knees, float your knees into a tabletop position, arms out at your sides. Drop your knees over to the right for a little twist. So knees are going to be in that bent tabletop position. Right hand finds the outside of that left thigh. Press your thighs down into the earth. Press your left shoulder down into the earth. Turn your head to the left. Take a nice big breath. Turn your head back to center. Release your hand from your thighs. Float those knees back to center. Readjust anything that you need to, and then we'll take it to the other side. Knees are going to drop over to the left. Let them sink all the way down. Left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Press your thighs down. Press your right shoulder down. Turn your head to the right. Turn your head back to center, release your hand from your thighs, float your knees back up, pull those knees back into your chest, give yourself one last little hug, a little squeeze, maybe a little rock side to side. Cool, and then when you're ready, release your feet down to the ground, toe heel your feet to the outer edges of your mat, take a windshield wiper or two with the knees, just to kind of soothe out the hips and the low back. Lovely. One more drop of the knees side to side, and then find your way into your Shavasana. Maybe you take it into constructive rest, let the knees drop in towards each other, maybe into a reclined cobbler's pose, maybe that more traditional shape. Just find the shape that feels the best to you and allows your body to find a little soft stillness. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Invite some gentle movement into your fingers or your toes. Slowly and mindfully start to bring just some gentle movement back into your joints. Maybe you wiggle the knees, wiggle the ankles, wiggle the wrists. Move anything that might feel good and beneficial. And then if it feels really good, step your feet long, stretch your arms up and overhead. Take that big good morning stretch like a yawn. Take a nice big breath back into your body. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Cool. And then as you find your way up to that comfortable seated position, just take a second to find it. The head, the heart, and the hips in line, shoulders soften down. We're going to take the left hand out, reach it straight out from the shoulders. You're going to pull the fingertips up as you drop your ear towards your shoulder, and then push the fingertips down towards the ground as you drop your ear away. Pull the fingertips up as you drop your ear in towards your shoulder. Pull the fingertips down as you drop your ear away. Nice. One more just like that. Flick the fingertips up, drop the ear in. Fingertips down, drop the ear away. Awesome. And then head comes to neutral, and we're going to flip that palm backwards, float it behind you, slide it up in between your shoulder blades, and just notice how far you can reach in between the shoulder blades. And just notice if it's changed. No right or wrong, but just see. And then when you're ready, release that hand down, take it to the other side. Arm's going to reach straight out from the shoulders. You're going to drop the ear in as the fingertips lift up, and then fingertips down as the ear moves away. Fingertips up, ear drops in. Fingertips down, ear drops away. Nice. Fingertips up, ear drops in. Fingertips down, ear drops away. And then neutral, flip the palm, face it backwards, slide it behind you and up in between your shoulder blades just as far as it will go. And then just notice if it's changed. Nice. And then when you're ready, release both hands to heart center and Anjali Mudra and bow your head to your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And I send my love and gratitude out to you. Thank you for sharing your morning with me. Gently lift up through the top of your head. Gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Thursday.